conversation after that. And then what we will do is we'll go over to Nazelle for just to commence the third to get our prize winners, the third prize winners. I don't think we're going to have a problem today because we have this batch seems to be very extremely listening acutely to what I'm saying. Okay, over to you, Rowena. Are you ready?
Yes, Pastor.
Okay,
Uh, I would just want to confirm if my audio is clear.
perfect.
Okay, thank you so
Very
much.
clear.
So magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. I'm actually nervous right now kasi hindi po talaga nagkakalayo yung edad natin. I'm I still have a long way to go compared to our previous speakers. So I'm not going to talk about my achievements. Okay, I'm not going to talk about this, but I'm working right now here in Hanoi, Vietnam. I'm heading the training department of the biggest software company here in Vietnam, FPT company. I'm working at FPT Software Academy, and I'm in charge of developing English courses for our students, and I'm also in charge of training our teachers. And I also make or develop curriculums for the primary and university schools of FPT. So that's what I do. I'd been in some managing jobs before here also in Vietnam, and right now I'm in this training department. Okay, so since I am not actually a talker, I'm more of a writer. So I wrote my speech today because if I start talking, um, marami pong pwedeng mangyari. So I always prepare my speeches, or when I talk, when I have a speaking engagement, I really write. So I'm going to read what I wrote, and hopefully 10 minutes lang po siyang mabasa kasi it's like 3 pages. Ayan po. So yeah, as I've said, I'm not going to talk much about my achievements, but I'm going to talk about the process of my growth as an individual. I don't intend to appeal to your egos, but I intend to relate to you, especially as a person who has survived um, probably the worst nightmares a human being could experience. So my pursuit to excellence, especially academic excellence, was not born out of the desire to stand out among my peers. Kasi nga ako yung tao na na the kind of person who wouldn't crave for people's attention. Nor did I want to be at the center of people's affections. Rather, my pursuit to excellence was born out of the desire to please and earn the love of the one person who should have loved me in the first place, and that is my mom. My childhood does not hold a lot of happy memories, as any child should have. Well, except for those brief and occasional moments when my father was at home. So, yes, growing up, um, it was very hard for me to get a grasp of what love really means to a child who is always left alone, to tend to her own, to see things by herself, to walk to school alone, to mind her own wounds, and to celebrate her own victories. And so I was always in that um, in that position where I have to reconcile upon my heart the mother that the society has painted upon my mind and the earthly mother that I had. Yet I had an earthly father who was, most of the time, absent at home, but never had fallen short in showing how much I mean to him. My father and my mother are an oxymoron. Sobrang opposite po sila. And sometimes I wonder what kind of gayuma, gayuma potion, okay, that my mom has used to catch the eye of my father, to catch his affection. Kasi nga, so sa sobrang nilang magkaiba ng ugali and behavior and everything, hindi ko talaga po maintindihan kung paano. But anyway, maybe uh, I will ask God about that. Okay, so I grew up in Sunday school thanks to my dad. So I was supposed to be a good kid, and so I was. I was loved by my dad. I was supposed to be a happy kid, but I was not. You see, the hole in my heart that was left abandoned by my mom would always summon grief and sorrow in my heart, especially in the evenings and even when I sleep. I had nightmares from childhood until I was in third year college. Yeah, because again, I was almost killed by my mom 2 times. Fast forward to university days. Yeah, this girl from the mountains. I'm actually from the mountainous place of the Cordilleras. Okay, if you know Baguio, that's where I'm from. Uh, so this mountainous girl, I'm yeah, I really take pride in saying that I am a girl from the mountains. Okay, so I was openly and warmly welcomed at the city, and somehow the people that God has brought me to become my spiritual family were the best. I wouldn't really complain about them. I was surrounded by fellow achievers, talents, and skilled friends in the university. But the most wonderful of it all is that they were God fearing people who loved me to their hearts. And so together we became a force to reckon with. We became the pillar of the Christian Organization Council of our university, which, by the way, is also a state university. Yeah, I'm a graduate of Benguet State University. Our organization would organize Bible studies, concerts, variety shows, inter-school fellowships, relief operations, stress debriefing, missions, and trainings and seminars. From this organization, I had found lifetime friends who would join me to greater causes after university days and even up to these days. So after graduation, I worked in a non-government organization for years. This NGO offers social services to clients who are mostly from the government agencies. We help shape special programs by the government like CHARM, or what we call the Cordillera Highland Agricultural Resource Management Project of the Department of Agriculture, the Indigenous Peoples Education of the Department of Education, the 4Ps and Kalahisids, if you are aware of this special program by the DSWD. We conduct significant social researches and use these researches to help societies or communities make informed decisions and to lobby and influence the local and national government in making ordinances and laws. If one has to look into my laptop, you will find rich information that would cost millions. And one would wonder why I am not yet a millionaire. Sometimes I couldn't help but wonder who I could be today if I had used all my talents, skills, and genius as a leverage to make money. But I am not one who would regret not taking a path that could lead to greatness. I am more inclined to believe that I have done everything I could for nation building. Up to these days, the same tenacity and grit I had for pursuit of excellence hasn't died down. It continues to burn. I continue to display excellence in everything I do and everywhere the Lord guides me and anytime I am needed. I pursue justice for those who cannot fight for
It doesn't
themselves.
bother me.
I pursue fairness for the underprivileged. I lend my voice to the voiceless, and I am an ear to the unheard and a shoulder to the heavy hearted. What led me into this dangerous direction, which is most likely avoided by the majority of people? Well, in the past, I was that person who always pursued for the love of my mom. I was the embittered daughter who felt unloved and rejected. I was the damaged lady who preserved her purity for her future husband, only to be tainted by monstrous men. I suffered post traumatic stress disorder in 2017 after I narrowly escaped from a taxi driver in Baguio, the fifth person who would almost rape me. I left the job that I so loved. I gave up on my part-time jobs that is teaching, ESL, IELTS, and towing. I locked myself for 3 months. I did not want to live anymore. And I prayed and waited for that day when I wouldn't wake up from my sleep. Until one day, when I received a message from my mom saying that my dad was at the hospital. It was the love of my dad that got me out from my bed and caused me to gather myself up once again and sought the Lord to give me the will to live. So from a very demanding job, I settled into doing English teaching. I also volunteered as an English teacher in a Bible school in Baguio. I gathered my resources and started a sowing seeds movement. And together with my Bible school students as my staffs, we organized relief operations and values formation seminars to the remote communities of the Cordillera until I came to Vietnam. I am not one who paints herself as a victim. I have forgiven my mom and the men who sexually assaulted me. But I never ceased to find answers why things had happened. And I never ceased my pursuit to earn the love of my mom until God made me realize that there is a kind of love that was freely given to me and to anyone who seeks for it. And as I experienced the depth and the height and the breadth of that love, I realized that this is the kind of love that I had ever needed in my life. And so here I am today, speaking in front of everyone as a testament to this unconditional love of God that we can call Abba Father. From a person who spent three-fourths of her life pursuing human love, I am now that person who pursues the heart of God. Everything I do now is born out of the desire to spread that kind of love that I had experienced in God. I speak to the people who feel unloved, rejected, and useless. If you were so, the Father would not sacrifice his only begotten Son for you. I am but a reflection of you. And the Lord who has weaned me in his bosom so that I can reach to a special time as this. He is the God, he is the Lord, he is who is more than willing to do the same to you. And he has so much in store for you as he had done for me. So that's who I am.
Okay. Rowena, before the students go to their consoles, can I ask a couple of questions if you don't mind? Thank you so much for sharing so deeply and honestly about your past, and especially some of we have some glimpses, although we can't see everything, but we do see some glimpses of your story. Would you say that you had any particular aptitude in terms of natural gifts or
Um,
talents for you to be able to do what you do today? Do you think what kind of person would do well in teaching online courseware, for example, which is what you do?
okay, so yeah, for you to be able to do well in online teaching or even in ESL teaching, not just online, okay, but face to face. Okay, because I have met a lot of people who are not education graduates, but they do well in teaching online or teaching ESL or English as a second language. Um, I guess it has really to do something with the gift of teaching because again, not everybody can teach. As for me, I had to undergo a lot of training so that I can teach English because I honestly didn't want teaching English. I never considered teaching English as a job. Okay, it was for me a hobby, more of a hobby. Okay, so for one person to be able to teach, okay, especially online, okay, you just need to be innovative because there are a lot with the advent of technology nowadays. You can make use. of all the materials, of all the technology that we have right now um, to teach. I'm telling you, not um, sa totoo lang po, here in Vietnam, the people who are really who are considered to be really good in teaching are the non-native English speakers.
Hmm.
Yeah. So you don't need to be very fluent or proficient on the English language to be able to teach.
And when you say innovative, what do you mean?
Innovative in a way that you can, you can marry the arts and science, technology and your creativity. You can
I'm just
use
writing
both.
down. Keep talking. I'm
Um,
just writing.
you can use
I'm
if
marry. You can marry the art and science and technology and what?
that means technology and your creativity.
Ah, okay. Okay, I think that's a clue right there. Yeah, just keep talking. I'm giving you the clue number 3 there. You need to be innovative. Marry art and science, technology and creativity. That's amazing. That's a real gift. The way that not only you can do it, but you can describe what you're doing it, because a lot of people can do things, but they don't have the awareness of what it is that is the secret to. Are you, Rowena, let me ask you, you're
Yes, sir.
apart from your family, you're away from your country. Do you feel homesick?
Um, I think that is one of the gifts that God has given me. I'm actually a person who always travels, especially with the kind of job that I had in the Philippines. Um, I don't know, but I am the kind of person who don't get homesick.
Mm.
I miss my dad once in a while, but I really never felt homesick. I can I can make anywhere that God leads me to as a home.
Okay. So would you say that that's because you're adaptive and very flexible and a- attuned to different cultures? And do you like people? Or let me say, what do you like about people? What do you find interesting about the Vietnamese people?
Mm. One thing that is actually interesting about the Vietnamese people is like they are actually like Filipinos. They are very hospitable, and I would say that the people in the south of Vietnam are totally opposite of the people here in the north. That is why I came to the north of Vietnam because I can easily, relate to them. Okay. And one more thing is that the people here in Vietnam they have this very nationalistic perspective about things. They love their country, and that is something that I really appreciate about them.
And so any other nationalities that you teach?
I'd been teaching Koreans for a very long time in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
I also had been teaching Japanese people, the Chinese, Taiwanese, people from Pakistan. Yeah, I had students from Pakistan. And
You
right
can
now,
speak Urdu?
I cannot speak Hindu. I'm sorry.
Urdu.
Also because
Urdu
Urdu,
in
I'm
Urdu
sorry,
in
I
Pakistan.
cannot. Yeah, I cannot. Because actually we are being monitored during our classes. We cannot speak other languages. We have to strictly speak English.
Okay, so that would be one of the policies as well there. Mm.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. We have one more Yeah. Okay, and Nazelle picked up on something as well in terms of um, hospitable. Nazelle says, "What do you mean by that, Nazelle? Look on the word hospitable.
Tabo.
Okay, all right. Mm-hmm. Right. And seems like you have a very colorful life there, and certainly a lot of colors in the background. I don't know whether that just has anything to do with it, but over to you, Nazelle. Do you think it's enough time? Yeah. Okay. Good. Let's Nazelle. Do you want to come in here and just explain again what needs to be done and so on and so forth?
Okay, again, good afternoon. This time for our third speaker. So, you need to guess. Meron ako clue na binigay. Yung, so, yon. So, check nyo na lang.
I think Araceli is giving her students
Yeah.
an unfair advantage there, coming
So,
very close to telling the answer. All right.
so, you have now a clue. By the way, yung kanina si Oppo F7, kindly rename yourself. Tsaka paki-check po yung ano, yung direct message na binigay sa iyo. Tsaka pati din kay Gemalyn Aragon. So, yun. So, for now, let's start posting our answer. Okay.
Okay, I can see some immediate hits, bullseyes already. Wow, 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 wow. Quite a number got it off right off the bat there. Mm-hmm. And keep going. Good. Yes, indeed. Now remember, try to get to the elemental. It might be a little bit difficult because I think I threw you off track there and gave you some false clues just now. But I can see there that you have seen right through my deceit, and you have ignored the clues that I gave you, which is correct because I gave you false clues all the way. But I can see that you've seen through my ruse, and you're still getting. Oh, okay. There was some. All right. I think we, Nazelle, yes, indeed, and already we have Nazelle. How are we doing now? Okay.
Keep on posting.
Keep on posting. Okay, Coach Vasquez, you're not allowed to play the game, okay? Just let the students win the money. Oh, looks like a lot of people winning the money. Well done, Rovalyn. Good. Good, good, good. All right. Good, good, good. No, it's yes, yes, yes. They're all coming in now. I can see that. Even though I gave you the false, but you know, the first clue I gave you was not wrong. It was not wrong, really, because she was very, very careful to write down everything. What is the reason for that, Rowena? For writing down?
Um, Again, because it's easy for me to break down, especially when I'm talking about things that are really very personal to me.
Okay, when you say breakdown, you mean emotionally.
Yes.
Okay, all right. And I wonder why that is. That's certainly a clue right there. Someone who has very deep feelings for and sensitivities with intra personal intelligence quotient, very high on the intra personal, making incredibly good mentors. Indeed, indeed. Well, we've almost come to the end of our day. It's been a long day. Let's count out. Let's count up all those who have gotten the correct answer for this MVP, this wild card candidate, this person who can actually fake all the other archetypes. But for a reason, in order to bring up the morale of the team. And yes, indeed. So, but it is true that, yeah, it is true that you have identified, many of you have identified. Yes, she has the heart. Feels the hurt, removes the pain. So, how are we doing there? Nazelle, how are we doing there? Are they keep on posting? Yeah,
Yeah, they need to
Well,
keep on posting.
that's it, you see. Angelique Ardele, I think you're more seeing the hat than the person. But that definitely, and same thing, Angelica Saran, you're seeing that's her job, is to teach. It's not her elemental. Okay? Same thing with Jurian Aldea. You are not wrong, but the ability to enable or encourage her students to learn English, for example. Okay, Perennial, you're not wrong, but you're looking at the hat there. That's her job. Remember, you can lose the hat, but you can never lose the gift. All right, and yes, Mendoza, Ena Joy. She is. They call it emotional quotient (EQ). There's IQ. IQ is the logical, mathematical, and the linguistic, cultural sensitivities of intelligence. That's words and numbers. But this Rowena has EQ. Is very high on the EQ. Not that she's emotional, but that she can feel for other people. There you go. There you go. Yeah, that's it. That's it. You got it. All right. Good job. Good job. Okay. Empathy. Yes, that's another word for it. Okay. EMPH, empathy. I think there's something going on there. Anyway, empathy. All right. I think THY something. But there you go. How are we doing, Nazelle? Do we have all 10 winners? Well, keep posting, and then we'll
Keep
let you know
posting.
when the time comes. Okay. Now, yeah. So that's what you're witnessing here. You're seeing somebody who has not uh, extremely, how shall we say, someone who can feel the pulse of the other, can feel the heartbeat, can hear, can lend a listening ear because she knows what it is to go through trauma. You know, the people who go through trauma, as you heard just now, the mother tried to kill her twice, if I'm not wrong. People who have been through trauma, and then she said, but she's not a victim. She doesn't have a victim mentality. That means she's already been healed, or a large portion of the healing has come. And therefore, you know, you can comfort others with the comfort wherewith you have comforted others. Now, if you put empathy, it's not an answer. So what is the
It's just
it
a
is a
clue.
it is a trait of this particular modality. So what is empathy a trait of? Apollinario and Rovizent and Lowy. What is it? What is the trait of empathy and compassion and of being able to feel with the heartbeat of another person in order to bring that person, you know, in order to show mercy to that person? What is that particular, you know, showing mercy? Which of the seven that they show mercy, and the result of which is this particular archetype? Okay. In fact, Elios in the Greek, it means to show mercy, and of course the results of which is to bring and to yeah, empathy is the required heart feeling. Okay, thank you very much. This is a yes, that's it. She turned her trauma into a all right.